Mind Over Matter, or Why Your Mind Still Matters in the Brave New World of Spiritual Machines, by Dan Angel, M.D. We will begin with what we scientifically know. We know that the universe and the men are built from atoms and subatomic particles. According to classical physics, if we could theoretically know the position of all particles, atoms in the universe and the laws that govern them, we could theoretically predict the movement of the whole universe and men. This is called materialistic determinism. It implies that there is no actually free will. That was a big philosophical dilemma until the apparition of the quantum physics. In our postmodern era, many believe that the quantum physics has all the answers because of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Introduced first in 1927 by the German physicist Werner Heisenberg, it states that the more precisely the position of some particle is determined, the less precisely its momentum can be known. After apparition of the quantum physics, the problem of materialistic determinism was solved by the materialistic indeterminism. Because we cannot know with absolute precision the position of a subatomic particle, that means that the material universe is not absolutely predictable. This doesn't demonstrate that the human species is free, but only chaotic. The unpredictability doesn't prove the freedom if it depends only on the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. We must have another support, a non-material hardware, to be able to be free. The hardware that can support a free consciousness cannot obey the laws of the physical universe. The mechanism that can make possible the freedom, it is a mechanism without mechanism to make possible the self-determination. An artificial consciousness, created by men, it is also impossible to create. Only an infinite intelligence can imagine and create the support that can make possible the self-determination. And the self-consciousness, it is even more complex in the nature of its substance. The hardware that can make possible the free consciousness is infinite in complexity, and only a free creative being of infinite intelligence can create it. Any scientist that says he can create an artificial consciousness is delusional, and only a fool can believe him. History will prove me right, because in the present there will be many that will pretend they do not understand me. And the mind is self-determined by definition. Our profound nature is the free consciousness, the self-determination. Because we are free, we are self-determined. The human consciousness is self-determined, the affected is without cause. We are not biochemical robots, we are not just biological machines, we are self-determined free consciousness. Einstein said in his book, The Theory of Relativity for All, that we cannot will to will. We must not stay in the paradigm of materialism, in the echo chamber of the all-powerful confirmation bias. There is a dimension, a universe where not the laws of physics rule, but the will of the free self-determined minds, not the exterior determinism, but the interior self-determinism. The matter cannot support a hardware, even of infinite complexity, that can have a self-determined consciousness, and it is empirically proven that we are self-determined consciousness. For example, very similar group of people do not behave the same in various psychological experiments, in the same conditions. There is a majority that behaves in a predictable manner, but not all. And this is the empirical demonstration that we are free. The nature of the hardware that can support the freedom and consciousness, it is so complex that there is no human mind that can imagine it. Even Einstein, when he said we cannot will to will, we simply will, and the origin of the will is in our divine nature. We are regnum Dei, not regnum animalis. The freedom is the profound nature of the mind. We are not biological, biochemical robots. Our consciousness, it is not an epiphenomenon of our biochemical machine that we call body. Our consciousness, it is not just a spectator of the movement of our biological machine that we call body. Our consciousness is interconnected with the freedom, and they are both divine in nature. Some of us depend on the void logic of mathematics. I rely on the live logic of common sense. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle does not demonstrate the liberty but the chaos. If a system is unpredictable, it means that it is chaotic or self-determined, and the human species is self-determined. We are immortal nucleus of free consciousness, and we have the same profound nature as the profound nature of God. We came of God, and we are pieces of God. We are free, immortal, and supermaterialistic. The material body is just a biological robot that your free mind controls from a supermaterialistic dimension. The free immortal consciousness, our soul, controls the biological machine that we call material body. Because God is absolute in good, truth, and beauty, it implies logically that we are the only responsible for our destiny. Because we are self-determined, we are powerful and responsible, the masters of our own destiny. God is spirit, and where the Holy Spirit of God is, there is freedom. God is freedom in the absolute form of organization. And we are not only matter, superior organized, but we came out of God, and we were given by God, the supreme gift of freedom and creation. The structure of the soul cannot be imagined by the human mind. It is a mechanism without mechanism. It took a man, not a machine, to find the truth. The artificial free consciousness is an utopia.